Hello.
Hi.
You're the first person on our interrogation room
Dun, dun,
for
dun.
2017.
Here I am.
Everyone, I go, you get excited. Everyone's probably screaming. We can just pretend that we can hear the screams and the love.
Hi,
that
everyone.
Nicole da Silva's in the interrogation room.
Thank you for watching.
Wow, Ep 1.
Yes.
Okay, so everyone just saw Ep 1. Well, everyone in Australia hopefully saw Ep 1.
Yes.
Massive. I don't know. Let's unpackage it. Let's unpack it.
Sure.
So let's start with opening scenes. Obviously, we said goodbye to Bea,
Yes.
and we saw everyone's reactions to Bea and how they were dealing with the news, and it sort of immediately started as soon as where we left off last season. So can you talk us through it? And I know the fans would love to hear about it. Is how was the vibe on set filming those scenes, and actually, because you're not just saying goodbye to a character in Bea Smith, you're also saying goodbye to a friend in Danielle after 4 seasons. So
Yeah.
what was the vibe there?
It was really bleak. It was really sad, and it kind of it started to feel official, and it started to feel real when we were filming those scenes. I think, the season before, when we got the news, we all went into shock and had to deal with that and get our heads around it. But I think once we came back and started filming that stuff, it was like, oh, okay, this is for real now. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the thing too, I love the way that it was packaged up. It was like this beautiful montage of everyone's different thoughts and feelings, and then it was like, okay, now we need to get down to business, and we need to know how we're going to get revenge and how we're going to avenge this series of events that happened.
Yeah.
And it was quite cool in the sense where it flashed between, immediately you saw that conversation between Will and Frankie, and about, the system, and is it the system that was fucked, or is it the freak? And then you go along to all the different storylines and see how they react to it. What was it like, I guess, for Frankie having to deal with it all on the inside, knowing that everyone is dealing with it on the outside, and is doing it on the inside?
Yeah, it was hard, I think, and I think that's why she gravitated towards Ali, and I think that's why she gravitated towards Will, because they were her 2 points of contact for Bea, and dealing with that on the outside. And you certainly got snippets of it, but those were her anchorings, and I think it was really important for her to be there for Ali, because she knew how much Ali meant to Bea, because Bea had shared that with her, and that's kind of a testament to the Bea and Frankie relationship as well.
Yeah, we saw that really come full circle last season.
Yeah.
Didn't get to talk to you last season because
Yeah.
we were filming Dr. Doctor with our Facebook Lives, and it was such a lovely moment to see towards the end of flashing back, taking a bit of a sidestep to that, and seeing how that evolution came from where Bea and Frankie started to where they started, which was a really nice way, I think, for that evolution to end.
Absolutely.
As well.
I think the Bea-Frankie relationship is one of the great love stories of Wentworth. It's, two women who were at odds with each other. In a lot of ways, Danielle and I always talked about how we felt that they were equals, and that they were the two people in there who really intellectually got each other. But because of that, there was conflict, and they weren't willing to admit that they could see each other, in the other person.
Yeah.
So it was really nice for Danielle and I to have that shift over, the 4 seasons, and then have it come to fruition with Bea, being at odds at the end of the 4th season, and then reaching out to Frankie and having Frankie help her.
Because I guess she, where Bea's story arc got to at that point, she really did feel like she had no one. Like
Totally, and she completely shut herself off, and it was
Yeah.
Bridget saying to Frankie, hey, I think you're one person who gets it and can talk to her and can reach out to her.
Yeah, and it was just, there were really nice moments. There was still the cheekiness that Frankie brings to any moment, but there was the really nice soft moments too, where Bea felt vulnerable to be able to share exactly how she was feeling, and I think Frankie felt a bit like, oh, you're sharing this with me, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, and I think there was a real satisfaction for Frankie hearing that she'd fallen in love with someone, but not only someone, anyone, a woman, and Frankie had been kind of going, hold on a second, the whole time.
Yeah.
So I think that was really satisfying for not only Frankie, but for the the evolution of their friendship.
Yeah, it was really nice, and I know fans love those scenes. Last year they were just shared far and wide across the internet as well. It was a really nice moment. So it's nice to sort of see that Frankie's taking it this season.
Yeah,
and
I just on that scene. So obviously I did like a couple of episodes at the beginning of season 4, and then a few at the end. And in between that time, I was overseas. So Dan and I did not see each other all season. And that scene, that kind of coming together scene in the what do you call it? The room. The interview room, yeah.
No, I was
going to say interrogation room. So we hadn't seen each other in months and hadn't actually spoken to each other in months because we were both busy doing our things. And we were very conscious that that was the first scene that we were going to shoot together after not having seen each other in a while. And so we both did this thing where we kind of said hi to each other, but we made sure we kind of left the full meeting to the time we came to actually filming it. And so a lot of what you see in that scene is actually Dan and I really going, oh, it's so good to see you.
And that's probably why it felt so genuine. It just really felt genuine. And
everyone was like,
it
was two friends coming back together.
This is so amazing. Yeah. Especially that whole entire, cinematic, she comes in and she's all of a sudden looking who she can see in the interview room, and then all of a sudden there's this little head that pops up from the vending machine, and it's like that instant smile. It was awesome. Fans loved it, I think, as much as I did. So let's keep unpacking tonight's episode, because I know fans are just reeling from this and they want to hear. After, I guess, we've said goodbye to Bea and we're starting to realise what's happening, we stumble upon the most epic fight scene I think we have seen.
Yes.
The freak
Hardcore.
literally takes on the yard.
Yes.
She becomes, I don't even actually know how to unpack it. She becomes some kind of Matrix, Terminator,
ninja,
some sort of
Totally.
And you kind of left going is there any scene that Pamela Bray can't deliver?
The short answer to that is no. She can do anything. She's amazing. And I think what I love about what Pam does is she kind of has this way of just, marrying all the elements of her character. So you really see elements of the freak's fencing, throughout that scene, and how kind of physically able she is. It's awesome. It's awesome to watch.
And can we ask, and you can tell me to shut up, Kelly, did Pam do it all herself? Did every one on the cast do that fight scene themselves? There was no body doubles, no stunt doubles. It was all...
Look, I wasn't there on that day of shooting, so I can't tell you for sure. But for the most part, we do a lot of our own stunts, and we're in great hands with, stunt coordinators and safety and all the crew around us who are really supportive. So I imagine she would have, but I can't speak to that entirely.
We'll have to we'll dig deep.
Yes.
Tune back next week, guys.
Exactly. It depends who's in the interrogation room next week.
Hopefully it's someone that was there. So that was just a crazy scene. I just can imagine I'm just hanging out for the memes tomorrow and the GIFs and all the fun stuff that's going to come from our amazing fans on that. And then let's talk about the blast from the past that is Mike Panisi just randomly pops up. Frankie's life in a coffee shop.
There he is.
Frankie freaks out for a moment, and then Frankie goes back and has coffee with him.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Because she's a softie at heart. Because she wants to make good in the world. And she is the redemption storyline, and she's looking for that full redemption. So I think, for her, it's about putting good into the world. And, she comes out of a case, she's doing the legal aid stuff, and I think the scene before, she has really, great success with one of the cases and says, I think it was really great that they reconciled and they found, kind of a good place with each other and they reconciled. So I think that's in the back of Frankie's mind. And, at the end of the day, she feels bad for what she did to Panisi, and it's an opportunity for her to make amends. Yeah.
Kind of doesn't go that way for poor Franks.
No, because Panisi's weird.
He's so weird.
He's weird. He's messed up.
So he's got a little bit of a weird photo situation happening on his wall.
Just a little bit.
Just a tiny one.
Just a little photo situation. And then a mannequin situation.
Where he's kind of having tea with a blow-up doll Frankie.
Yeah, as you do.
It's not that weird.
It's not that weird. Who else out there has a blow-up doll Frankie?
I knew you should ask that question. I think lots of people would have a blow-up doll called Frankie. And then, we see Frankie sort of okay, look, this has gone too far. I've told Bridget this sort of what's happened, but I said it's under control. And now he's calling me, and it's just, and then he's meeting me at the courthouse randomly. And so I want to tell someone, and then you're being arrested for the murder of Mike Panisi.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Escalated quickly.
Yeah, as it does in Wentworth. Things tend to escalate quickly in the world of Wentworth. Because that's what it is. It's like it's you know, it's kind of like the roller coaster of never-ending shit being thrown at you. So that's what happens with Frankie. You know, she's no exception to that rule, and she's got to fight against it. So that's what she does.
And so that's where we left off. Frankie being arrested.
Mm-hmm.
I know what fans are thinking. What happens next? What's next for Frankie? And I know that you can't tell me anything, but I'm still going to ask the question.
Sure.
What's next for Frankie? What
You'll have to
from
watch
here?
and see. Yeah, look, obviously she gets arrested for Mike Panisi's murder, and she's got to figure that out. She's got to figure out why they think it's her, who it might be, and what's going to happen to her.
All that I was thinking was a bit surprised. Frankie, even though he's dead, it's like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to like burn my face with a what is it? A brulee creamer? What do they call it?
Like a blowtorch.
Just trying to brulee your face.
As you do.
Next minute, he's dead.
Next minute, exactly.
So yeah, unpackaging all that. So exciting times to come. I won't press you anymore on that. So I guess big episode, lots to unpack. There's all like that's just the few top line things we spoke about. There's still the ongoing situation between Jake and the freak, which is just weird.
Yeah.
There's Vera trying to talk her way out of the situation that she's found herself in. I think it's for the first time Vera really trod on that ethical, moral ground that she normally doesn't. And she's like, shit, how do I get myself out of it?
Absolutely.
You've got the whole entire Sonia and Liz story still bubbling along there and what's going to happen there. And then you've got poor Maxie dealing with her chemotherapy and really probably taking Bea's death the hardest, I think, out of everyone.
Yeah.
And then, you know, being transferred for the good. And then you've got poor Boobs left there like,
still wanting to have a baby.
I don't have any friends anymore.
Yeah.
So,
and that's so important to Boomer, you know, she's all about family and the people around her. So to have that start to be stripped away is pretty devastating.
Yeah, so there's lots of storylines to come, very exciting things to end on. Oh, and I can't even begin to mention, because it'd be cool to get your take on these. Kaz is top dog.
Yeah.
So like we've seen Jax as top dog, we've had Frankie as top dog, we had Maxie in there for a little bit, we had Bea. This is a new era of top dog, and Frankie's been top dog before.
Yeah.
Quite an effective top dog. And now we have this top dog in here that's like, you can't touch the freak. She's a ghost. No revenge.
Yeah.
No physical violence against women. But we're in a women's prison that is driven on violence.
Yeah.
So how do you think that's going to play out? Like,
look, to be honest, I think it's actually a really clever move on the writer's behalf and on Kaz's behalf. Because from the research that I've done and the people that I've spoken to who have been in female prisons, they say that that's the biggest thing. It's the psychological warfare. That it becomes like high school, that you are shunned, and that's the worst thing that can happen to you. That people do ignore you and you're non-existent and you become a ghost, and that's the most hurtful thing that can happen to you. So I actually think it's a really interesting and smart move from Kaz. Whether it works or not is another story. Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously, Ali didn't listen to it very long.
No, she didn't.
So, and then we've got, I didn't even unpack poor Ali. She's, she's struggling as we thought she would. So, I mean, there's so much, like, Ep 1 has just left us so excited for what's happening. We sort of got to say goodbye. I think really nice there to be, but it's left some beautiful storylines open for us to continue to go for the rest of the season. So, I personally am very excited. So let's move on and let's talk about Nicole. No more Frankie. Let's talk about you.
Ta-da!
Loki's nom, congratulations. It's very exciting.
It's very cool.
And I just want to, say to the viewers at home, it's so exciting when a Foxtel show gets nominated for a Loki.
It's huge.
Because we are based on subscription, not free to air. So free to air, obviously, everyone has access to that. Everyone can watch it, so everyone can vote. When we're talking about subscription TV, it's a smaller population. So to be nominated along the peers on free to air and alongside them, let alone to win, is a massive accomplishment.
It's huge.
That you should be, thrilled and very excited about. Because we are very excited.
Yeah, and I absolutely am, and I'm super excited for the show because it is a testament to the show that, you know, you can only get it on Foxtel. So there is this big drive of people, you know, seeking it out, actively seeking it out. So I'm stoked, we're stoked, and you know, it is a testament to the show.
And complimentary to that, we've also got the both drama categories. So we've got best drama and most outstanding drama, and then Danielle's nominated too.
Yay!
So it's an exciting. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Wentworth Fever is going to be taking over the Lokies this year because we had Celia take home the gong last year.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can make it 4 out of 4 this year. That would be extremely
Totally.
exciting. While we're talking about Lokies, for the viewers at home, what's your most, apart from the awardsy side of things, what's your favourite thing about the Lokies? Is it getting dressed? Is it seeing everyone in the industry? Is it the after party?
It's slipping off my shoes and going home to a nice comfy bed. It's a long night. It's a long night, and it is, at the end of the day, for me, a work night. But I think what I like most about it is seeing all my friends and, you know, being able to catch up with people that I've worked with years ago and you know, kind of rekindling those friendships. So it's always nice for that.
Yeah, it is. It's a big, crazy day.
It is actually.
From 7 a.m. start to 1 a.m. finish.
It starts so early for us and then it ends so late. And everyone's like, after party, I'm like, I just want to sleep.
I have my makeup on till 7:30.
I'm melting.
And let's talk about seasons 4 and 5 of Wentworth, because we didn't get to chat to you in our last series of Q&As because you were super busy with your doctor schedule when we went live with Wentworth last year. What I wanted to chat to you about, and I know a lot of fans have asked this question because I've had so many different Franky and Nicole questions come in over the past season, is your take on playing the two sides of Franky. And by two sides, I mean playing Franky inside and playing Franky free.
Totally.
And how you've approached the differences to those two types of. It almost is like two types of people.
Completely. It's completely different. And it was a real, you know, I had to really kind of find my feet at the beginning of season 4 because it felt like I was discovering a whole new side of Franky. You know, it felt like a whole new character, a whole new show. And I really had to figure out who she was outside of those 4 walls, because those 4 walls really do dictate who you are and what you show to people. And suddenly she's on the outside and she can be and do whatever she wants. And I think that freedom, you know, was really interesting to play with. If there's one I prefer, I don't know. Like, for me, it was a real gift, you know, playing with Franky on the outside. But I think Franky on the inside is almost like a pent-up firecracker, and it's kind of exciting because you never know when she's going to go off.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's an answer to this, but everyone's noticed Franky's new ink that she received on the outside.
Yes.
Is there any sentiment or anything behind it, or just because it looks pretty?
No, there's definitely a story. So there's a story to every single tattoo that Franky has, but that one particularly, that was designed by Tess Natoli, our head makeup artist, and Tess and I spoke about Franky getting new ink once she's on the outside to symbolise and commemorate her time on the inside and her newfound freedom. So it's actually, like in the image you can see, it's actually
a clock with...
it's a clock that's like exploded open, so that's representative of her time inside and her having served her time. And the bird in the background with the wings is actually Tessa's interpretation of a phoenix. So it's about the phoenix rising from the ashes and Franky reinventing herself.
Oh, that's really cool, because it's a beautiful,
it's
like
gorgeous.
I've seen it, and I've seen how, you know, that she applies it and things like that. So it's beautiful. So it's nice to see that there's something behind that.
And I mean, it was awesome because when I went to Tess before we started season 4, I said, "Hey, I've got an idea. Franky gets on the outside." A little small that commemorated, you know, her release. And then Tess comes back with his whole sleeve, and I'm like, sure, let's go with it.
So how much longer do you spend in hair and makeup now before each show?
Let's not talk about it because honestly, Tess and I had to remind ourselves a few times that to not get bogged down in how long it actually took. Because we were making the job harder for ourselves, which we all want to do.
Yeah, no, but they look amazing. They do. And I think that everyone noticed it, put it this way, and was like, what does this mean? So that's kind of cool for them to have a bit of a background story. And then I guess the other thing too, the story that came out that we haven't had a chance to chat to you about, is Franky's family came out of the end of season 4 too, having a little sister.
Yeah.
And sort of, I guess, feeling like, she didn't want to have anything to do with anyone and she just wanted to be on her own kind of thing, to all of a sudden going, hang on, actually, I do want something to do with this little girl.
Yeah, well, I think, Franky only detached herself from her dad and her little sister, her dad, for starters, when she was on the inside, because she was trying to protect herself and protect him. Like, having people that mean something to you on the outside is a vulnerability on the inside, because it means people can get to you like they did with Bea. So she really distanced herself. So it was nice to have then Franky be on the outside and be able to reconnect with her family and find another family, going from the Wentworth family, going from the girls, going from Liz and Booms and Doreen and Bea to then, having a family on the outside with Bridget, her dad and her little sister was important.
And it was so cute too to see that domestic side between Bridget and Franky. And I think it also lent to Bridget having another side, because you see such a strong, feminist almost, but compassionate woman when you see her, when she's talking to the women in the prison and she's doing that. And then all of a sudden you see this loved up, softer side to Bridget that you don't get, and playful that you don't. I mean, what tonight was what was the quote? You
cunning linguist.
Yeah. You're like, you dirty bird. So it's this beautiful, cool, cute little playfulness that you've got to see out of Bridget as well, which is
absolutely
great for fans to see. Okay, let's talk about the fans, because we can't have an interrogation room.
You guys.
I am responsible to interrogate you.
Yes.
That is my job on behalf of the fans.
You're doing such a good job at it.
I'm asking hard questions.
I'm
trying to ask all your questions,
guys.
Yeah. And it's like a horrible, dingy room. Like, the chairs are uncomfortable.
Yeah, there's rats crawling around.
It's horrible. The fans, wow. Let's talk about Wentworth fans. They are just next level. Something that I've never, ever seen before.
Yeah.
To the point where they are the most passionate, loyal, engaged social audience I think I've ever seen in any Australian drama ever.
Yeah.
We're talking like, this is like Walking Dead, Game of Thrones passion around this, which is just phenomenal. Like, absolutely phenomenal. But also too, it's just that it's so beautiful the way in which they really relate to the characters. They really have so many stories that's why they relate to them.
Yeah.
But then they're just so engaged in the storyline across social. Like, the fan art is amazing.
Awesome.
You've got these super intelligent people making these super hilarious memes and being really playful with the content.
Yeah.
And then you've got people that just like almost go through the storyline with you.
Yeah.
Who are just like, this cannot happen.
Yeah.
The whole entire death of Bea isn't a complete example of like, this is not happening.
Totally.
How does that make you feel, like, within this series, and the impact that those fans have on you?
I mean, it's great. Without our fans, we don't have a show, and without their dedication, we can't keep making the show. So it's awesome, and I think our fans absolutely rock. And I say, bring it on.
Bring it on. But they're just lovely, and I mean, you personally have your own social media account as well, and so do a lot of the other guys. And they just love the interaction with you. Every single time you post something, it's like viral. You could literally post like a poo emoji, and it'll be like, oh, still I posted a poo emoji.
Hey, that poo emoji is very funny. I often text that poo emoji to my friends.
It'd be like poo emoji trending because Nicole da Silva posted a poo emoji. But it's just
trying to tell us something.
Shit's going down.
I'm like Trump. I'm like tweeting from the toilet.
But the fan phenomenon is amazing, and it definitely boosts the show. Like, I just know personally, working with you guys from a social media and digital perspective, it's amazing to have such engaged fans, and to really not just a fandom that are just like, oh my god, this person's so hot, but to actually be super excited in the storylines, relatable to the storylines, talking about
completely dedicated to the storylines.
and congratulating every single week, not just the cast, but the writers and the production.
Yeah,
it's a very beautiful community that we've got there, and we thank you because we love you
thank
guys. And
very cool.
Keep it coming because we enjoy it. Great segue, we're talking about fans, on the phenomenal impact, I guess, that this show and the themes and the storylines and how they impact on really sort of, I guess, serious issues around depression and anxiety and domestic violence, suicide, all those type of things. And there's so many storylines in the last 4 and now 5 seasons that have dealt with those across the thing. And I know that all the other cast members that I've spoke to, they've said that they've had people contact them directly to talk about this and say how this storyline related to them. I know you've mentioned to me too. Did you want to talk to us a little bit about the people that have reached out to you and how they've felt relatable to Franky's storylines and how that makes you feel?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I get, letters on the daily from people who have really connected with Franky's strength, and they've used it in their own life to move through really difficult situations of, eating disorders, domestic violence, all sorts of things. So it's really nice that the show can kind of permeate the screens and get out there and give people the strength they're looking for. It's wonderful.
And I mean, the other story too that's just touched on is obviously we've got a transgender character in the series as well. Way before any other colour jail places had a transgender character, and not only is Maxine representing that transgender community, but now she's actually also going through breast cancer, which is another issue that really affects women as well. And I just think it's so beautiful in the way in which Socrates has portrayed that as well.
I agree. Yeah.
And I've just had women connected that as well, and that storyline. And then you've got, I mean, the whole entire premise of Bea entering the prison was that she was a victim of ongoing domestic abuse.
Yeah.
And where that life's led her.
Yeah.
So I think that it's amazing that an Australian drama can tell these raw and real stories, relatable stories, in a way in which other people, not just in Australia but around the world, relate to them.
Absolutely, and I think in a way which doesn't glorify, that kind of violence, but actually encourages people to find strength and help through it, which is really important.
Yeah, and it just highlights it that you're not alone. That's
exactly
the thing too, without glorifying it.
Yeah,
right. Okay, trying to lighten up the mood. We're going to play a game. Because we've got games this year, guys.
Yay!
So exciting. So, in the spirit of all things jail or prison, we have this game. I'm going to hand you this and you can show them what's on the other side. It's called Guilty or Innocent. And how this game works is we're going to ask you some questions.
Sure.
And they're questions that are just random.
Yes.
And you're going to either confess in this interrogation room number 2 on the 4th of April 2017 at approximately...
Right.
What time is it? At approximately 10:08 p.m.
Okay, I'm ready.
If you're innocent or guilty, you can elaborate if you wish, or you can just move on.
No.
Okay, the first question is, have you ever been in a fight?
A physical fight, innocent. Verbal fight, very guilty.
Have you ever called, will just be, I'll just say it. Have you ever called into work sick because you're hungover?
Guilty.
Not instead of Wentworth though, right?
Not in my acting work. Before my acting life.
Do you have any tattoos of your own?
Innocent.
Clean skin. Have you ever been arrested? Have you ever worked at a fast food restaurant?
Innocent.
That's good. Have you ever sent a text to the wrong person?
Oh, probably guilty, yeah. Haven't we all?
Yeah. Have you ever injured yourself trying to impress someone?
So guilty. So guilty. I do it all the time.
Just try to be cool and stuff.
Yeah, sometimes I just walk into walls because that's what you do.
Have you ever been totally freaked out by a fan?
Guilty. Yes.
You don't have to name and shame them.
No, I won't. Yes.
Have you ever re-gifted a gift? Are you a re-gifter?
Totally. I think it's a genius to re-gift, and I think we should all do it. Why stay with a gift that you're not happy with? Give it to someone else and they're happy. I'm a big fan of it.
Re-gifting.
Guilty.
Nobody send Nicole gifts because she's not re-gifting. Have you ever considered being on a reality TV series?
Guilty, yes. I probably wouldn't, but I'm a huge Survivor fan, and I would love to just test myself in that situation. I don't think I'd ever do it, but I'm a huge fan of the show.
We're not going to see you on Real Housewives anytime soon.
No, but you might see me down at the park doing some Survivor challenges by myself.
And we'll just come down there and try to smoke it.
Totally, try to smoke. No, my flame is out. Damn it. Yeah.
Have you ever kissed a girl?
Guilty.
Are you a good cook?
I get in moods. If I'm in the mood, I'm genius. I don't know how I do the stuff I do, but it happens like once a year.
So we'll say
yes, a little bit of.
Have you ever lied about your age?
Yeah. I'm 26.
And last one, have you ever fired a gun?
Yes, guilty. Yes, I did gun training for a show I did called Rush, so we got to fire real guns.
That's cool.
It was actually very exciting.
Cool. Well, thank you for being the first Wentworth cast member to play Innocent or Guilty.
Thank you.
And now, excitingly to all your fans, I am going to give you the reins to take over the interrogation and ask Nicole directly whatever you like. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you
what
ready?
Have you got?
Okay. This is from Kath Paul. Do you ever want a real tattoo from Franky's character?
Ooh. Oh, that is a great question. Look, I probably, in theory I would, because she's got some great tattoos, but in practice, I always feel a bit weird after I finish filming if there's like too many things that are still the character. Like every time I finish a role, I have to go out and cut my hair and dye my hair and buy new clothes. It's this way of shaking it off. So I feel like if I did that, I wouldn't be able to shake her off. So I'd probably say no.
Yeah, with her forever.
Yeah,
good or bad. Mel Davis wants to know.
Hi, Mel.
What was your favourite scene in tonight's episode?
Oh, I mean the fight scene was great. You know, it's always so. It would have to be the fight scene, actually.
It was pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. It's always so epic, that stuff, and I think Wentworth does that really well.
I think I was just left going, Joan just cut sick.
Yeah.
I didn't see
and so did Ali, too, like that whole thing.
And you know what, though? I always read into it, I'm like, in a prison, why would they leave the pool balls so that people could put them in socks? Because then everyone would just be hitting people in socks.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I stop reading into it? It was amazing.
It was amazing.
Just go with it.
Yes.
Jaden Leroy says, hi Nicole.
Hi Jaden.
Do we get to see a vulnerable side of Franky this season?
Yes, you do. I think Franky is pushed to her ends this season, and she's really, pardon me, she's really got to fight against going back into the old Franky. So you see some of that vulnerability come out.
And I'm trying to, I see, I'm just not getting it. We've already got a new hashtag.
Oh yeah.
You know how Franky's had Fruma.
Yes.
Which was Franky and Boomer. You've got
Bridget,
which is Franky and Bridget.
Frerica.
Let's not forget Frerica. Do you know how many people actually ask about Erica?
Oh, totally. I still do. I think, the Erica storyline is ripe. I think there's heaps there.
People want her back, man. People want her back.
I feel you.
No way. Bridget's going to take her on. There's no way.
But how good would that be?
Girl fight.
How good would that be?
But anyway, back to the point. Here's the new one. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Frowley.
Oh, Frowley.
Franky and Ali.
Yeah.
Are we going to see Frowley this year? Is it going to trend?
We'll see. I mean, that's up to you guys.
You guys may make it trend.
Mm.
Okay, this is from Jodie. She wants to know, hi Nicole,
hello.
Are there any similarities between you and Franky?
Yeah, always. I think as an actor you always bring similarities to your character. Frankie and I are both terriers. We're both fighters. We both go after things that we believe in. So that's something I definitely share with her. And a little bit of cheekiness.
Yeah. Well, everyone loves Frankie's cheekiness. So, hang on. See, this is what happens. It's out of control.
What are those little dots
That's
going
them saying, I
across?
love you, I love you, I like you, I love you. And now that I say this, you
I
watch
love
the
you and
retweets.
like you guys too.
Look at all the love you're getting. Bing, 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 bing.
Simple love hearts.
Oh, look, see, now it's going love heart crazy.
It works! Thanks, guys!
This is a cool one from Aline. If you could be any other Wentworth inmate, who would it be?
Wentworth inmate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why do I have to pick? I'd probably be Boomer because Katrina Milosevic is awesome and has made Boomer a whole other level amazing. And I would like to spend a day in Boomer's brain. I would like to know. I would like to know what goes on in there, and
it might be.
There's probably lots of puppies in jelly.
Yes, and I think she's going to upgrade from Monte Carlos this season. I feel like she's ready for an upgrade.
Ready for the Tim Tams?
Yeah, she's been on Monte Carlos for a whole 2 seasons.
But she likes the things she likes, you know. She's a traditionalist. She's a loyalist. She sticks with those things that she knows.
Yeah, I guess she does. But I think she needs Tim Tams to get through this season. Monte Carlos has only just been cutting it.
Yeah, that's true.
She needs them this season.
Lift her biscuit game.
Listen, I'm just going to tell you all that keep asking the question, is Bea dead? Yes. God, dead. Moving on. Don't keep posting those questions. It's very sad, but we're moving on. It 100% happened. It's not an illusion. There's no Jon Snow moment. It's happened.
I think a lot of people are still very much in denial.
Yeah, we all are though. But I'm not hiding anything. We're not being secretive. Yeah. We're not trying to play with your emotions and all of a sudden she's going to come back mourn. But it's there's no Jon Snow moment apparently in Wentworth, guys. Looks so much. I love you, Nicole. I can't wait for the next season. Thanks. Oh, here's a cool one from M. Watson. What's been your best storyline to play so far? That's a hard one.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta go back 4 years.
My best storyline to play so far. M. Watson? Why are you asking me such hard questions so late at night?
She's interrogating you. You are in the interrogation room.
Best storyline. Look, I love the Boomer stuff. I really do. I think the Frankie Boomer friendship is so sweet and so beautiful, and I love the way they continually come back to each other. So, and Katrina is so beautiful to play off. She breaks my heart. She literally breaks my heart. So it's always so nice bouncing off her.
She is. She's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Here's a really cool one that's just a bit random. This is a Nicole question, not a Frankie question.
Yeah.
Who's your biggest role model?
I have many. I collect them wherever I go. Like, I think there are so many fabulous people in the world. And certainly there are actors that I look up to. But for the most part, I really love the people who go out there and make their own content. Like, I love the people who go out there and write and direct their own stuff, or write their own plays and produce their own plays. So I'm a big fan of Britt Marling, but, that's just the start of someone who I look up to, because I think there are so many geniuses in the world.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That was a very great question, very insightful question.
Yes.
Here's a cute one from Patrick. Do you think your character in Rush would like to hook up with Frankie?
Hell yeah! Oh my god, that would be great. That's a great idea. Cop and Crim, yes, but I'd have to hook up with myself, so it might be weird.
So there might be like a double camera action happening.
A bit of green screen going on.
Oh, here's a cool one from Mel Davies. It's gonna be it's a great interrogation, Mel.
Sure.
What's your favourite one-liner from all the seasons of Wentworth?
Oh, look, there's been so many. Vegetarian was a pretty great line.
It's still hanging around.
I don't eat sausage. I don't eat sausage. I'm a vegetarian. It's pretty hard to top that. that was pretty great. I think that's it.
I think that has to be number one.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
There's so many questions, guys. They're all so insightful. I'm just trying to make sure I give Nicole a good pick. Here's a cool one. This is from our friends actually at Wentworth Memes. We're good friends with those guys.
Yeah,
cool
thanks for all your memes, Wentworth Memes.
Her name's Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
And if you could get any Aussie actress on the show, or actor, who would you pick? Anyone.
All of them. Who would I pick? I'm always hopeless at these questions.
Maybe someone you've worked with in the past. Oh, we're back.
Oh,
We were interrupted for a little bit. I think the rat tried to hack us. The Wentworth rat is out of control.
oh my gosh.
And it just tries to hack and do everything to get spoilers and secrets and tell
That
people.
rat.
It's just, it's out of control. I can't deal with it. Here's a cool one from Chloe. We're back.
Okay.
Sorry, stop.
Oh no.
Is it your Wi-Fi? Is it saying it's
Scene with my dad in the visitor centre, and yeah, it just really spoke to me, and I thought it was really raw and true. So that appealed to me.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. There's some I missed it.
That pesky.
The chopping block to be interrogated first, and it's we look so forward to